don't push it. It's a good disguise. Now, how do we go about this? How is this done? I don't really know. These time travel things can be tricky. We'll see, I suppose. But will we be able to take him back? Well, theoretically, that is how past functions. But then, I've never used it myself. We'll see! And will we be able to get it back when we want to? I guess. But really, what's the difference? You of all people have nothing to lose. I suppose you're right. Well, wish me luck. I do, Imple. I do. And if you need me, he said, nestling once again into Marley's ear, I'll be right here. Who the hell are you? Scrooge was not having a good night. He sat bolt upright in bed, staring at the new apparition that floated in the air before him. Get out of my house, he said, his hand inching towards the ogre. Get up, old man. We're going on a little trip. I've had quite enough of spirits for the evening, thank you. Come any closer, and I'll drench you with this poker. The spirit lifted its little finger and sent the poker flying back to its resting place beside Scrooge's bed. Floating in the air above the old man's bed was a Cockney boy, a street rat, freckled, tattered, disgusting really, and missing a tooth. A shock of red hair hung down over one eye, and his grin was irresistible. Scrooge resisted. Who are you? I'm the ghost of Christmas past, Governor. Long past? No, your past, you old fart. Cheeky little imp. What the devil brings you here? Your welfare. Oh, my welfare, is it? Well, I think an unbroken night of rest would be more beneficial for my... Your reclamation, then. Rise and walk with me! Rise and walk with me? Said Boggle from inside Marley Christmas past ear. Where the devil did that come from? I haven't the slightest. Must be part of the arrangement. Well, keep it up. It's good. Rise, spirit. I am your mortal end. Well, that's your problem, Governor. Hold on. And the little boy grasped the old man's hand and lifted. Scrooge, wailing his vertigo and lumbago, rose into the air and floated several feet above his bed. What are you doing? It's winter. I shall catch my death. Unheeding, the little spirit led him to the window, opened it with a grand gesture, and together the two of them sailed off into the night sky. Oh, the sky all around them was as brilliant as a jeweler's shop, each star singing with all its might, old constellations and newborn, sweep of the sky, and exultation against the dark. Look around you, cried the little boy, as he laughed and whooped and threw back his head in joy. Scrooge was breathless, paralyzed with fear. But then he began to yell too. At seeing London far below him. Far, far below him. Then his yell became a demand. I demand that you put me down! Then a plea. Please put me down? And after that, his yell turned to crabby outrage as Scrooge felt more and more himself. And then, as the spirit pulled them through barrel rolls and loop-the-loops and cartwheels and great dives, the old man's yell became wonder of wonders, a giggle, then a laugh, then a great whee that pealed and echoed across the night sky. Where do you take me, spirit? You tell me, for you direct our journey by your art and the love therein. Well, you're just full of surprises tonight, aren't you? It isn't me, I tell you. Well, sit back then and enjoy the ride. So they did. And the stars began to whirl about them like snowflakes, to bluster and blow in the wind, whirling snowflakes. And then it was a bright winter's morning in the country, blinding white, the air like liquid crystal, and every bush and branch and fence post and wagon rug sparkled with 1,000 diamonds. Do you know this place? Know it? I was a boy here, cried Scrooge. Again, whirling snow obscured the scene. And then, Papa? Papa? Called the little boy, timidly pushing open the door to his father's dim, brown, cave-like study. What the hell is this? Something the matter, old bean? Well, this isn't Scrooge's past. Papa? Are you in there? What do you want? Thick voice mumbled gruffly. The man sat at the only table in the room, illuminated by the low-hanging light, reflecting the glass in one hand and the half-empty bottle in the other. Mama wants you, Papa, and she told me... Go away, the figure said, pouring himself a drink. But she's sick again, Papa. And she said... Get out, I said, and suddenly the figure stood, huge against the light. He picked the little boy up under the arms and threw him out into the hallway, thundering the door shut behind him. The boy, dazed and hurt, stifled his sobs as he heard behind him the lock shut hard. Well, I'm not sure I understand. I mean, if this isn't Scrooge's past, whose is it? It's mine. What are we doing here? We're supposed to be visiting Scrooge's past, not mine. I don't know. Really, I'm quite as surprised as you are. You tricked me. You knew about it. Well, I'm not going to put up with this. Marley waved his hands, and the scene before them froze. What did you do? In front of them, the little boy had become like a statue, frozen, immobile. A single tear suspended mid-air above the floor. You said we could stop time? Well, I just did. You can't do this, said the bottle. Watch me. Marvelous! The bottle floated before Marley's face like a tiny fury. Well, I hope you enjoy the view. I like it just fine. Good! You're going to be seeing enough of it. Novel way to spend eternity, although it is a trifle dull. You mean, of course! We're stuck here too! What did you expect? Oh, hell. The scene before them unfroze, and the boy's tears splashed onto the floor. Was that enough the first time? Mama! Mama! The little boy called and called as the tears ran down his face. But the tall, silent men carried her away from him. No one explained why she didn't wake up, or speak, or smile at him any longer. But he knew why. And then having to dress in clothes that were too tight and shoes that hurt his feet, and being dragged by his father behind the carriage with that box inside of it. People's faces, hats off, staring at them, and his father's face, set like a stone. In the rain, and watching as the box was slowly lowered into the ground, and the sound of the earth being shoveled on top. Then being dragged home by his father's hand hurting, crushing his small one like a vice. Must we? Marley gasped, his face ashen. I know it hurts, old thing, but there's nothing to be done. Can we just go back to hell? That wasn't as bad as this. The bottle floated down to pat Marley's hand with his tiny one. There, old thing. There. So, while Scrooge, lost in the world of his own memories, saw scene after scene from his childhood, Marley and the bottle saw other, grimmer scenes that burned like a brand. Marley sadly watched his loveless, wretched Dickinsonian childhood. He watched as the little boy was sold into apprenticeship at the old man's warehouse. The boy was friendless, save for the occasional harried kindness of Mr. Fezziwig. Now, Mr. Marley, not so glum if you please. What will you take for a toffee? What will you take for a smile, sir? A toffee? 2? Oh, you drive a hard bargain, sir. Sleeping under the counter and living in terror of the threats, the mean tricks, the cruel pinches of that older apprentice, Dick Wilkins. Oh, give me those. You know what you'll get if you tell. I saw what young Wilkins did. Marley turned to see the new boy. Scrooge, wasn't it, was standing there beside him. The boy was as lean as a whippet, and twice as sharp, with a gleam in his eyes not unlike Marley's. I know how we can get even. And with those words, the partnership of Scrooge and Marley was born. Scrooge and Marley, always off whispering in a corner together. Marley watched their history together unfold like some blighted gray flower. It's an unfair world, Mr. Marley. Seeing as that's how it is, I'm determined to be the one who's stepping on, not the one who's getting stepped upon. Marley couldn't look away as much as he would have liked to. He saw the firm become Scrooge and Marley's. Fezziwig no more. He saw the new owners go out into the world like a pair of ravening wolves, growing rich on the misfortune of others. He saw himself and his partner grow old together, old in mistrust and resentment, kept in whispered secrets, and in minute, exacting divisions of the spoils. And when the end came, Marley watched very intently as Scrooge made his move to take over the business. When the once living Marley confronted the old man about the misdeed, Scrooge simply smiled and said it was none of Marley's business, or rather, none of his business anymore. Marley had seized a ruler and in fury had raised it. But then the side of his mouth went funny, and he seemed to forget what he was doing. He dropped the ruler, simply wandered back into his office, sitting at his desk, barely moving, just rocking, staring at a spot on the wall where nothing was. Finally, 6 o'clock came, and Marley went to the safe, took a cash box from it, and let the coins run through his fingers like water. Then he stuffed as many as he could into his pockets, and carrying as many as he could, He walked out of the office, walking oddly with hitches and jerks like some battered wind-up toy, leaving a trail of falling monies behind him. There was a raised stone platform at the end of the street where politicians used to stand to give speeches. And so, he hitched himself up to the top. And when he reached it, he began to whirl about, casting the coins from him, hurling like a broken, wind-up toy, making odd, choking sounds in the back of his throat, muttering, "No good! No good! None! None! None!" Then he crammed as many of the coins into his mouth as he could, and gagging on them, spewing them out again, spilling wet mouthfuls of them out on the street. Scrooge watched in horror and called a constable! And he, the constable, and Cratchit had to subdue Marley, who was now looking at his old hands and muttering, "Nothing left. Never was." Then his mouth moved wordlessly for a moment before he finally whispered, "Gone." Cratchit had to put him to bed, and to lead him home even, for Marley couldn't even remember where his house was, while Scrooge crawled about on the cobblestones looking at the coins that the children had missed, not too proud to crawl. Harry laughed at him. He found a few and pocketed them. When last they saw each other, Scrooge had been called to the deathbed by Marley's housekeeper. And so, Scrooge stood in the door and watched as his partner struggled to breathe his last. At one point, Marley opened his eyes, said nothing, recognizing Scrooge surely, but just glaring at him accusingly. And Scrooge stared right back, bold as brass, and watched as the last gasping, choking came. Then he put on his hat and his gloves, for he had never even removed his coat, and went out and had his dinner. You remember it now? Marley was silent. He had seen in a few moments the entire sum of his life, and looking back, he was surprised to see how small it was. Countless tiny cruelties, vicious little economies, mean, pathetic little triumphs. He ran his hands through his chains. I deserved these. The bottle nodded. And then Marley turned white-hot with fury, and Scrooge! The wretch! He did this to me. Well, he can rot in hell now. He can burn beside me in hell for eternity. I'll be damned if I lift my littlest fingernail to help him. I'll be damned if I will! Rather, old thing, said the bottle, you'll be damned if you don't. Look, don't damn him, despite yourself, Marley, my darling. It's not worth it. He's the one chance you've got. Best take it. Marley bit out through clenched jaws. No! I'm through with him. Well, I understand. Perhaps you're right. And then the two of them were in Scrooge's bedroom. Scrooge sat in his chair, weeping over what he had seen. Boggle charged the old man and laughed and taunted him viciously. That's it! Cry! Louder! Louder, old fool! Old wretch! What are you doing? He deserves what he's got, said the Boggle as he laughed and dive-bombed about the old man's face. No use sitting blubbering out. You've made your empty bed. You best get used to lying in it. Should have paid some attention, shouldn't you? Stop it. What? Stop it. Leave him alone. But this is a man who... I know what it is. But I know what he did. Please. Just leave him alone. And the two of them watched Scrooge as he cried himself to sleep. had cried himself to sleep by the time the two of them left. Why did you stop me? You hate him, don't you? You've got a right to, after what he did to you. I don't know, said Marley. Yes, you do. Can't you just leave me in peace for a moment? I suppose you're right, as usual. This is, after all, your last look at the city and those stars, now that you've decided to let the old cold sore rot in his own mess. Not that he doesn't deserve it, of course. He deserves that and a whole lot more. And he'll get it. If you think your chains are heavy, wait until you see what they've got in store for old Scrooge. Once they've got him, do you mind? Mind what? Would you mind plugging that seemingly endless flow of chat? The Boggle, surprised and offended, did. For a while, the two of them simply sat there in silence, watching the stars. Shooting star, said Marley. The Boggle, still smarting, said nothing. If you must know, I felt sorry for him. Oh, excuse me. Were you talking to me? Stop it. It's just that he no doubt isn't. Getting what he no doubt deserves. Just seems so vulnerable, unhappy, disgusting, human. He seems so human, sitting there weeping over his wasted life and his lost love. Aren't getting sentimental on me, are you? What you were doing, it just didn't seem fair. I see. The Boggle smiled, a tiny private smile that he didn't let Marley see. He waited for some time before. You know, it's a good long while till cocks crow. You've cracked the shell. Broken the glacier. I mean, you've made him feel something for the first time in a long time. Probably since his voice broke. I'm listening. To simplify a terrifically complex metaphysical concept, his heart's open to crack. Now, all you have to do is insert a liberal dosage of Christmas cheer and you're home free, old chap. And I suppose you have some way of doing this. Well, actually, yes, I do. The Ghost of Christmas Past was a wonderful idea, a wonderful part, and you played it very well, blah, blah, blah. But there really is a Ghost of Christmas Present, or at least someone very much like him. I don't like the sound of this. You're over the worst of it, Marley, my darling. The next part, it's pure pleasure. Rise and walk with me. Not again. Go away. Scrooge had been awake for some time when he heard the sound of music and laughter coming from the room beyond. From the next room, a faint, rosy golden light spilled from beneath the doorway. Come in and know me better, man. Fat chance of that, said Scrooge, burrowing further and further into his bedclothes. Then he felt as if his room had been invaded, been filled with the light, as if the sun had decided in the middle of the night to suddenly rise in the old man's bedroom. It shone through the several layers of frayed quilts and moth-eaten blankets, making them transparent. Well, even Scrooge could not ignore a phenomenon like this, and so, shielding his eyes, he poked his pointed old nose from above the covers. An immense, shining face filled the room, and Scrooge fainted. Boggle.
Are you sure? Marley said, a little frightened. He stood waiting, not sure for what, or for whom. Should I do anything?
Just be patient. The invitation's been sent. It's all taken care of.
And then Marley was faintly aware of the music, and he saw peripherally dancing, celebrant attendants, clanging cymbals and timbres and drums. Then he felt the presence of something huge, something immense next to him. "Who's there?" he said. And then the presence entered him, and he laughed. Ha! Ha! He felt the laughter rippling out from him like a wave, released, flowing, blessing everything it touches. He saw the laughter heal and make things grow. He saw the effect of the laughter, not only uplifting to the people it touches, causing them to forget their worries and their cares for a moment, but the wind and the grass and the stars and the water even seemed to sing their joy with him. Marley was amazed. The joy inside him was stampeding, out of control. "What is this?" he said. "Why wasn't I known?"
You were, said the stars, blowing great raspberries at him.
Marley laughed again, and as he laughed, he felt things cracking inside him, exploding, falling away. Old ideas, brittle shells, papier-mâché husks, all too small for him now that he knew what he knew.
"Marley, are you in there?"
For Marley was transformed now, engulfed by the spirit of Christmas present. His face was as big as the sun, bearded and crowned with a holly wreath. He was cloaked in a long green robe trimmed with white fur, and a rosy golden light flowed off him like water. Never better, little imp. Really, never better. Now, let's go see what we can do for... No. Let's go see what we can do to that old sorry gas bag Scrooge. And away the two of them flew, trailing laughter behind them like a cloak. Wake up, you pathetic old scab!
Scrooge, still passed out on his bed, opened one groggy eye. "Go away. Haven't you in your time done enough to me for the night? Go away and leave me in peace."
Not tonight, Scrooge. You've ignored and reviled me and my kind for too many years. It won't work for you tonight. Come.
Well, I'm not sure I want to.
As if you have a choice, laughed the spirit, and away they flew. They traveled that night, the four of them, really. Scrooge, tiny and protected in the spirit's great hand, and Marley in the boggle, engulfed in the spirit's great heart. They traveled the world that night, and again, Marley had no say as to where they went, for this spirit seemed to have his own agenda, his own places to be and things to attend to. They traveled the world that night. They visited rough men in the mines, they saw men at sea, and they even went to Scrooge's nephew's dinner party. And everywhere they went, Marley saw the same thing again and again. And two old men sharing a pint of cheap whiskey under their home for the night, London Bridge. And two old women sitting before a fire, laughing until the tears ran down their faces about the lost loves of their youth. And a pair of lovers, whispering their loves and touching each other fearfully, desperately, gravely, for the first time or the 1000th. And friends and neighbors coming together to help a woman bury her husband or her father or her child, and weeping with her, sharing in her grief and her burden. In a man stopping his work to take a child up onto his knee and teaching that child how to read a word, or tie a knot, or make something, and doing it again and again until the child proudly accomplished it on his own. In one of the almshouses, where the Bible reader laid aside the sour, stern threats and instead told the poor a story they all knew, how on this night, like all nights, a child was born and a star heralded its coming, and they were visited, mother and child, by friends and neighbors, bringing gifts of love and welcome. They saw all this that night in their travels, and much more.
And Scrooge was changed by what he saw.
But Marley was changed by what he was. But like a horse, he was ridden gratefully from some sad old lean-to of a stable to a house of gold.
For Scrooge was changed by what he saw.
And Marley was changed by what he was. Of course, naturally, they ended up at the Cratchits. Somehow, the spirit fitted himself into their tiny four-room houses, comfortably as if it were the starry sky, and they watched the Cratchits at their meager Christmas dinner. There was a good deal of teasing and squabbling amongst the smaller Cratchits, naturally, but what Marley noted most was the constant, hovering concern over the littlest boy, whom everyone watched but never let him see their concern, so that when a bit of Christmas punch went down the wrong pipe, at first they all turned, frozen in horror, and then fell into universal laughing and backslapping and too loud joking. And then some of the Cratchits also feigned to cough and choke to make the boy less self-conscious, and the rest of the family, thinking this a great idea, took it up so that the entire household sounded like the waiting room at the charity hospital. But with all the excitement, the boy was soon tired and fell asleep on his father's lap. And then after that, they began to sing, these Cratchits. They sang funny songs and songs of the season.
And Scrooge was amazed to learn that his clerk had a sense of humor.
Bob did a comical turn as a young lady who kept saying, "No,
No, no!
it was so universally popular that he had to do it again.
No, no, no!
After that, they asked the littlest boy, who was awake once more, what song he wanted to sing. And he answered with the oldest song they knew, a lullaby for the child. And so as their voices rose in the ancient lulays, lulays, Marley heard a whisper from beside him. Behold, he felt another dizziness, another change in his eyes, and what he saw was this, that a golden cord of light went from each family member to the next and back again, so that the entire family was encompassed in a golden nest of light. Marley saw what the light was, and he saw that the cord came to him, went out of him and back again, so that they all were connected. Finally, it was time for bed. And after the younger Cratchits had been tucked in and water gotten, Mr. and Mrs. Cratchit had a moment beside the fire, her head on his shoulder, his arm around her waist, both of them alone with their thoughts, silent, and both praying that they would all be together when the next Christmas came. Then it was time for bed, and as the two of them went up to bed, they left Scrooge and Spirits to watch the fire die out.
Spirit, will the littlest boy, the one with that withered leg, will he live?
The Spirit made his reply, and suddenly they were on a windswept street, cold and darkness and the wind howling. Scrooge confronted the Spirit. Why do you show me these things, you spirits? All you show me is hope, but all your hopes brings me is bitterness and pain. I'm an old man. Let me go. One thing more, old man. And at the end, when the two skeletal children, the two devouring figures of want and ignorance crawled like roaches from beneath the spirit's robes, Scrooge leapt away horrified and ran looking for somewhere to hide. Had they no refuge? No resources? The spirit replied in Scrooge's own words and vanished, mocking laughter filling the air. While Marley saw what Scrooge, his trembling fist covering his eyes, could not see, that when the spirit that was Christmas present departed, he took the two eternally starving, eternally dying children, lifted them to his bosom, and carried them up to the stars. Scrooge stamped his feet on the cobblestones. You ask too much, you spirits, with your hope and change. But I'm an old man. I can't change. Might as well kill me. That would be more merciful. Come on! Take me! Take me away from here! Don't leave me here too! And then he was gone. Where did he go? Demanded Marley. I don't know, but we'd better find him. Look, in the east, the first faint gray lights of morning were beginning to sweep across the sky. There's not much time until cocks crow, and the two spirits flew off into the night. Tall figure, robed and hooded, stood unmoving at the foot of Scrooge's bed. Are you the ghost of Christmas yet to come? The spirit did not move. You are about to show me things that have not happened, but that will happen. Is that correct? The spirit nodded its head imperceptibly. Spirit, I fear you more than any other spirit I have seen tonight. Marley, this is marvelous. I mean, this is truly terrifying. Wherever did you get the idea? If this doesn't do the trick, nothing will. What made you think of this? I was about to ask you the same question. You mean that isn't you? Well, I thought it was you. Well, if I'm here, and you're there, then who is... Oh, dear. Spirit, will you not speak to me? Spirit raised an arm and pointed a bony finger. I understand. Lead on, Spirit. Lead on. The night is waning fast, and the time is precious to me. Lead on. Well, there's only one spirit that looks like that. And you've seen him before. Has he come for old Scrooge, then? If you're so, then all our efforts were moot. Now, I'm afraid. And they knew it when they gave him to us. We could never really save him. The game was rigged from the beginning. I guess. But we might as well follow them. No harm. And so Marley and the Boggle followed Scrooge and the Angel of Death on their final tour of the city. And the angel showed Scrooge the effects of his absence. And the old man wept to see that no one cared. His housekeeper and his laundress stole everything they could lay their hands on. His office was closed for a day or two, and then reopened with Cratchit behind a much larger desk. His niece and nephew went to Paris to celebrate their inheritance, and his funeral was unattended, save by the professional mourners hired by the undertaker to simply pad the bill. The spirit led Scrooge on and on, Scrooge becoming more and more desolate, until they finally arrived at an ill-kept cemetery tucked in between some warehouses and a long-forgotten church. There was a place where the earth was fresh, and a cheap little headstone announced the final resting places of Scrooge's earthly remains. Poor old geezer, said Marley as they watched Scrooge collapse onto his grave, burying his head in his arms and weeping like an abandoned child. He's only getting what he asked for, said the Boggle. He deserved all of this. No one deserves. Well, perhaps he does. Perhaps we all do, said Marley, watching with an odd expression on his face. The old man crawled towards the figure.
Spirit, hear me. I'm not the man I was.
The figure of death raised an arm, and the darkness behind him coalesced into blackness. Nothing. Only black, dark nothingness visible inside. The figure of death walked to the edge of the vortex and held out his hand. When Marley stepped forward, "What are you doing?" "I do pity the old wretch," said Marley. "Look at him, red-eyed, runny-nosed, pathetically begging for another chance. Let's give it to him." Marley raised his arm. "Marley, don't do this. You don't know what you're doing." And time froze, and Marley was gone. But for the briefest instant, there were two Scrooges, mirror images of each other, kneeling in the graveyard. "Old wretch," whispered the newer Scrooge to his astonished twin. "I never liked you much before, and I don't like you any more now. Marley, don't do this. You don't know what it'll mean." Marley went on unheeding. "We all of us, everyone deserve a chance to change, a chance to do better. Here's yours." And he placed his hand briefly on the old man's chest, just above the heart. "Remember that someone gave you a chance. If I can change, well." And then he shoved hard, and when time began again, there was just one Scrooge kneeling before his death. Thunder rumbled, and a high, keen wind arose. The angel hesitated as lightning streaked the sky, and then he held out his hand savagely, demanding this time Scrooge. The old man got up, calmly, though he trembled a bit, and walked to the edge of the vortex. Marley, I'm serious. Don't do this. Don't know what you're doing. Don't know the consequences." The old man fixed the spirit with one eye and mouthed the words, "Goodbye," before he placed his outstretched hand into the angel's, and together the two of them vanished, disappearing into the darkness from which no man ever returns. "Marley! Marley!" The bottle called and called. But he was alone in that graveyard. In the distance, he heard the sound of a cock's crow.
Scrooge awoke with an unreasoning feeling of joy. He wasn't sure where he was, or why he was, or what he was, but he was glad that he was, for the first time in a long, long time, he ran to his window. "Boy, what's today?"
"Today? Why, it's Christmas Day!"
Bobble sadly watched the old man dance around in his underwear, giggling. Scrooge's good humor would have been infectious if the Bobble hadn't been feeling a little lonely then, when suddenly Marley popped in beside him. "Marley!" cried Bobble, leaping to embrace the specter's old nose. "Where were you? Where did you go? What happened?" Marley kept the Bobble in suspense for all of a second or two before he grinned and said, "What could they do to me? I was already dead." "Oh, sure, there was a good deal of finger waggling and we shall have to deal with this very sternly at a future date, Mr. Marley. I gather we're in for it when we get back." Look at the old man dance. For Scrooge skipped it out as he dressed himself. "I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as light as a feather. Ooh, I'm as giddy as a drunken man." And Marley and the Bobble watched Scrooge, dressed in his Christmas best. "Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas to you, sir," as he made his way to The counting house? Well, surely he isn't going to work today. But they didn't have to wait long to find out, for almost immediately as Scrooge had entered, he emerged again, his pockets filled to the brim with coins of all denominations. He ran to the stone platform at the end of the street, and when he reached the top, he began to whirl about like a hamster, casting the coins from him. "Merry Christmas," he said. "A Merry Christmas to you all. There's a good many back payments in this, I assure you." And the crowd laughed with him and blessed his name, and not a hand left the square that day empty. Finally, Scrooge fell to his knees. "Jacob Marley, Jacob, I say it on my knees. Jacob Marley, end the heaven times and Christmas time be praised. I say it on my knees, Jacob, on my knees." Don't mention it, old thing. Quite welcome, I'm sure.
Well, I would call that a, complete and willing change of heart, wouldn't you?
Marley nodded, having to clear his throat at that moment, as the two of them watched Scrooge dance down the street towards Christmas dinner at his nephew's. You know, I don't care what they do to us. I'm just glad we got this done. It's good to see the old man happy, and I'm feeling pretty good about it myself.
So am I, old thing.
Well, time to face the music.
I guess.
They were pretty angry with me.
Hell's not that bad,
As long as the company is agreeable. Well, after you.
Oh, no.
After you. I insist. Well, together then. The two spirits, the big one and the little one, disappeared into the light. Mr. Marley, we have said that you would be brought into account at a future date regarding your irregularities on the Scrooge affair. Marley and Bobble tried to stifle their laughs, failing miserably and having most of it come out their nose. Have I said anything funny? Would you care to share the source of your amusement? No, sir. It's nothing, sir. Just, said the Boggle before he and Marley fell into fits of helpless laughter. I see. You, sir, shall be dealt with first. And here, Marley and the Boggle were as sober as schoolboys. You were contracted, sir, to guide this soul on his journey and oversee his development. In that regard, sir, and here the record keeper frowned ferociously beneath his spectacles. In that regard, sir, you have deemed yourself and your client satisfactorily, and I am empowered to issue a promotion to you. And with that, Boggle began to glow, then to shine, then to beam, and then blaze with a great white light. Inside the light no longer was a pinched, severe little copy of Marley, but a beautiful young man with big, lovely wings growing out of his back. Thank you, sir. Not at all. Now, Mr. Marley. And suddenly Marley felt very small in the record keeper's eyes. As per the terms of your contract, sir, all debt shall be forgiven, all bonds broken, and here the shackles opened and the chains fell from Marley's wrists, ankles, waist, hands, and neck. And the undersigned, that's you, my dear sir, shall be free to seek his greater joy. Marley held up his arms, showing the Boggle that the chains were gone. Bravo, Marley, my darling! The Boggle whistled, stamped, and applauded. Thank you. I could never have done it without you. A truer word was never spoken. Well, now where do I go? The record keeper led him to a window that hadn't been there a moment. I believe it's somewhere about, there. I see it, said the Boggle. Well, this is goodbye, I believe. Keep in touch, old pudding. The bottle flew out the window, waving, "Goodbye! Goodbye!" So Marley hurried to the window and watched as his friend sailed up, and finally stopped, and a new star shone in the eastern sky. Wow. I know. Never fails to move me, even after all these years. Well, I wish you luck and congratulations once again on a job well done. Thank you, sir. But, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Where do I go now? Why, anywhere you like, of course. You're free. Oh, yes. Thank you, sir. Don't mention it. And Marley went to the office, opened the door, stepped outside. The door closed behind him, and the universe was spread out before him like a beautiful starlit sky. He stood there and looked at it for a long time. A long time. Then he sat down and looked at it for a long time. Then he got up, went back to the door, and knocked on it. Yes? If I may, sir. Mr. Marley, come in. How can I help you? Well, I was wondering, sir.
Yes.
If you please, sir. I was wondering, sir. Could you use any help around here? The thing is, I got so much more joy out of seeing old Scrooge changed and happy than I had ever felt in my life, and so I was just wondering, can you use any help around here? Delighted, sir. We were hoping you'd be interested. You show a remarkable talent, sir, and we admire your style of doing things. Marley glowed as he felt the record keeper shake his hand. He knew that he had found a home and a work that would keep him busy and happy for a long, long time. Now, if you'll just step this way, I have a project that I'm sure you'd find interesting and could use some of your excellent intervention. But that's another story. May we all find our way home as Marley did, and the Boggle did, and even old Scrooge did, finally. And like the Boggle, may we continue to bless the darkness as bright and shining stars. And God bless us, every one.